I've had last 2.5, 3 years, numerous town halls. This is the topic that has been at every single one. I'm from Utah. We're not on the southern border. We are recognized recently again as the top state in the nation from U.S. News. We have all the right economic indicators, we have all this great stuff going on, and the massive concern of what's going on at the border and what could potentially be the problem with what has happened over the last 3 years in 10 years from now. Well, what implications that this has on the next decade? So immediate acute issues and what ultimately plays out is terrifying to my constituents. To me, as I see some of the simple things that you saw from the previous administration, heard Mike Pence, Vice President Pence, talk about the negotiations with Mexico to come up with the Remain in Mexico plan. I wish we could create a legislative fix to it. I would be all for it. Make it permanent, make it into law, figure out the catch and release issues, parole authority, all across the board. President Biden came to office and he just said, you know what, I don't like President Trump, what President Trump and Mike Pence did. I'm gonna just take it away. There was positive things happening and we're gonna reverse it all. That's what he did. Everybody knows it. Every single constituent of mine understands that there was frustration there. And I wish we could fix it legislatively too. I think there's a solid group of Republicans and Democrats that recognize we have to have strong border security and we have to fix our immigration antiquated process. We get it. But for 30 years, we haven't been able to fix it. President Biden can at least do something right now, and he's been unwilling to do it. Mr. Blair, Ammon, a couple questions. And so I've got numbers here. Cartels have seen, according to Homeland Security investigations, cartels have seen their human trafficking and smuggling profits soar from $500 million in 2019 to well over $13 billion in 2022. Now, it's going to be hard for us to accurately track the amount of money that the cartels are making. I don't think they properly report on their W-2s what they're profiting from this. But would you say that's directionally correct from your understanding?
That is directionally correct.
We're not talking a small difference from that's one factor that's different from 2019. I'll give it two. There's two factors that's different from 2019 to 2022. One of them was there was a pandemic that caused some disruption. And the other one was that President Biden came in and his administration reversed every single border provision that was going on, and he has allowed for 3.5 years of this to continue on. This is enabling cartels, enemies of our country, bringing in fentanyl and running the show down on the southern border. There's an intersection here with Department of Homeland Security and the intelligence community. Do you think there are effective ways for DHS agents to work with the intelligence community on tracking cartel whereabouts in border towns, intercepting plans, and disrupting operations? Can you just speak to that and maybe the current state between DHS and the intelligence community and what we need to be doing better?
Yeah, first and foremost, they need to be designated as foreign terrorist organizations in order to get the intelligence apparatus to completely understand what Mexican cartels are actually doing. Also, you also need to change the Uniform Crime Report or the National Incident-Based Reporting System. As it stands right now, a lot of cartel-related activity is actually not put into that system. So we're actually running blind right now. So whether that's going to be Border Patrol on the ground, HSI, anyone in the Department of Justice, all of us are operating in silos. There's not a lot of shared information. There is some. And I do give credit to those that are sharing, whether that's at the individual tactical level and maybe sometimes at the operational level. But in terms of trying to understand the entire threat, as it stands now with our current system, that's almost impossible.
I shudder whenever I hear the concept of not sharing intelligence and properly communicating with each other. We saw from the 9/11 Commission that we can do better in the IC. So I encourage you, and I want to be a voice back here to make sure I can do whatever we can to get out ahead of that issue and realize that we're on the same team and working together. Existing funding. Let's talk at least existing funding and where we need to put most of that in order to divert migrants to only the ports of entry, help end the reign of the cartels and secure the sovereignty. anything on the additional funding or existing funding that we can be doing a better job at that right now?
Yes, sir. Critical infrastructure between the ports of entry. So adhering to the Secure Fence Act of 2006, that would deny almost all illegal entries, which would stop one of the commodities. And I hate to reference foreign nationals or human beings as commodities, but to the Mexican cartels, that's what they are.
That's what they are to them.
And so in order to deny that, we would need some sort of apparatus between the ports of entry in order to actually understand the domain awareness of it and also be able to stop it. Because as it stands now, as a Border Patrol agent, you're going down there, a lot of times it's like it's back in 1924. I'm having to cut sign on roads to understand what is actually who, where, when, why, or how is actually coming across, because we don't even have the technology to understand that.
I was only able to ask questions to you, Mr. Budd, but thank you to all of our witnesses for their tireless work on this. We've got to come up with solutions and fix this issue. Thank you.